Okay, hello, hello, hello. Okay, you'll notice that today what we're doing is 3.3, which is adding integers. You'll also notice that with this, you have a quiz coming up. So not only will you be working on 3.3 adding integers when you come to class, but you'll do a short quiz on multiplying and dividing integers. We think you're going to do really well on that because really all you have to do is remember those rules, which I have plastered all over the videos, and you'll have plastered all over your notes from in class. So we're hoping you're going to do well on that. Okay, so now we're going to talk about adding integers. So let's start something really simple. You already know how to add 4 plus 5, right? What that means is this is where we start, and this is the direction we went. Okay, so let's think about this for a minute. If we start at 4 and you add 5, you're going to go to the right 5 and you land at 9. Now, note, most of you should have understood this. When we're adding positive 5, we go to the right. And we say that equals 9. But what if we had started at negative 4 plus 5? Okay, that means we're going to start over here on negative 4. But if we're adding positive 5, we go that same direction. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We want to go in this direction. That equals positive 1. And we're going to keep things really simple because we just added 5, right? But what if we had negative 4 and we added negative 5? Okay, that's new to you. So negative 5 is the opposite of 5, right? It's on the total opposite. So what that means is we're going to start at negative 4, but now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the left 5. It's like we're adding cold, right? If it was already at 4 degrees below zero and it gets colder, you're going to go this way 5, right? Which means we're going to be at, this is when we add a negative 5. And that's going to be negative 9. So look at these and understand, how are they the same? How are they different? And write that over here in the left. How are these two problems the same? And how are they different? And write yourself a description over here. That's going to be really important for you to understand that. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use, sometimes we're not just going to stay with the simple numbers that are on that simple number line. So if I have like negative, let's say I have positive, I'll start with 25 plus negative 36. Okay. So if I have that, that means I'm still starting. I'm going to ask myself first before I draw this, if I add a negative, which way do I go? If I look up above, I can see that when I add a negative, I'm going to the left. So when I'm drawing my number line, I'm going to be really careful to make sure I got room to go to the left. So I'm going to start here at 25. And I know that I'm going to add negative 36, so I'm going to go this way, 36. So I'm adding negative 36. Now, I'm hoping you're using color here, like I'm using color, because I'm using it on purpose, specific colors. But I'm also hoping you're writing this down on the number line and starting to see, how are things the same? How are they different? How are they different? Okay. That's going to be more important for you understanding the overall concept. So if I have 25 plus negative 36, eventually I'm going to get to 0, right? So if I draw my number line, hopefully you understand this. This is 23. This would be 24 right here, right? And then we're just going down because we're decreasing, right? We're going to go down 36. It's going to take 25 just to get to 0 because that's the absolute value of 25, right? So we're going to have to go to the left 25 to get to 0. And then how much left over are we going to have, right? So if I look at this, if I go 25, I'm only going to go, I guess this arrow should probably be right here, right? Because if we go 36 this way, we're going to wind on negative 11. So 25 plus negative 36 equals negative 11. Because we went down 36. Because that's basically what that symbol means. We're going to the left. Okay? So if I take this one and if I had negative 41 plus 20, okay, what that means is I'm starting at negative 41. I'm going to go to the right 20 because I'm adding a positive. So I'm going to start at negative 41, and then I'm going to go to the right 20 because this is increasing because I'm adding a positive. And I think it's really important to understand that 0 is all the way over here to the right. I'm at negative 41. I'm going to add 20. Means I'm going to add positive 20. Where am I going to land? I'm going to wind up landing on negative 21. So if I moved, right, 2 each one, if you understand there's negative 40 here, negative 38, negative 36, negative 34, all the way, we went this way 20, we land at negative 21. Now there's some rules you're going to come up with, but you have to draw it on a number line because I need to know you understand what the movement is. Okay, so we can use a vertical number line like this. Again, notice it's blank. It's blank for a reason because we could fill in any number, right? So if I look at this, this is always the number that I start at. So if I start at 9, I can go ahead and put that in the middle if I want. I'm going to start at 9, but I'm going to add negative 13, which means I'm going to go down. I'm going to go down 13. So if I go down 13, where do I land? And so one of the things you'll hear me say on a regular basis is, where is 0? And it's 9 away from 9, right? That's the absolute value of 9 is 9. So it's 9 away from 0. So if it's 9 away from 0, sometimes it's good to just look at this and understand that if you're 9 away from 0 and you're going down 13, how much more do you have to go? And we're going to go down 4 more because that's going to be, we went down 9, we go down 4 more, we're going down 13. So we land at negative 4. Okay, if we go up 13, that's when you're used to. This is what this second one, we add a positive 13, so we're going up 13. So now draw that. Notice 0 is on the other side. 0 is right here, right? We're going further away from 0. This is what you're used to seeing. So 9 plus positive 13 is 22. What about negative 9 plus negative 13? Remember, you got to think about which direction am I going when I add a negative. And when I add a negative, I'm going down, right? So when I draw this, I'm going to start at negative 9, which means 0 is like up here somewhere, right? Because I'm on the negatives, right? So negative's there, and I'm going to go down 13. So where do you land? Well, this is negative 10, negative 11, negative 12, negative 13, negative 14, negative 15, negative 16, negative 17, negative 18, negative 19, negative 20, negative 21, negative 22 is where we land. So negative 9 plus negative 13 equals negative 22. You should be noticing something. Every time we add a negative, we go down. Every time we add a positive, we go up. So that's the key there, is understanding direction And if you can remember that and draw it on a number line, adding integers is going to become much more simple. Okay. So let's try these. You try these and see if you can do them. We're just going to do the first 5. Now, make sure you change these because some of them said subtraction. So make sure you change this one to addition. Make sure you change these 3 all to addition. Change this one to addition. Okay? Okay, you do these 5, see if you can draw similar to what we drew here. Right? You're going to draw those there. You see if you can do those. Hit pause, do the problems, and let's see how you do. Okay, guys, so as you see this, remember, I'm not just looking to see if you got the right answer. I want to see your work look right. Okay, because trust me, as we get to the harder problems, when we start talking about subtraction, okay, you're going to want to be able to do this to be able to see patterns. I need to know you can do a graphic representation of math. That's one of the things I'm supposed to make sure that I can see in your work. So if you don't show me this way, you got to show me another. I'm going to stick with this way most of the time. I might show you a couple ways, but right now this is what I'm sticking with, and this is what I expect out of you. Show me your work with a number line. Notice what I've done. This one I've done by even increments. You need to do, if you're going to have an accurate graph, it needs to be even increments, but it doesn't need to be perfect. I've done it in even increments just in case there's one of you that needs that, or in case one of you is going to go ahead and count dashes and say, but Mr. Bernal, you only moved 19 dashes. Okay. So we see that we start at 9, we go down 20 when we add negative 20. And that puts us at negative 11 because 0 is actually 9 away, right? So 9 away from 9. You understand now why we did absolute value? Because 9 is 9 away from 0. So you had to go 9 just to get past 0. But we're going down 20, which means it's going to be negative. Okay. When we have 1 plus 4, well, that should be simple for you. You know it. So you should have been able to say, I'm going to start at 1. 0's on the downward side of 1. And then you're going to go up 4. That's what it means to add 4. So that's what you're doing is you're communicating with these number lines what it means to add this number. If we start at negative 20, remember that first number is where we start. That's the best way to remember it. This is where we start. Start at negative 20 and you add 8, you're going to go up 8. The problem is to get to 0, it takes 20 to get to 0. And you're only going up 8. So you're still in the negative, means you're going to be at negative 12. And then back to these two, you're going to have start at 3, and when you add negative 5, you go to the left. Okay, so if you're going to go to the left, negative 5, it takes only 3 to get to 0. So if it takes 3 to get to 0, because it's just 3 this way, right? And you're going to go that way 5, that means you're going to go over 2. You're going to land on negative 2. And if you start at negative 3 and you add a negative, when you add a negative, you go to the left. 0's on the right. So you're just getting more negative. So you're going to negative 9. So negative 3 plus negative 6 equals negative 9. So one thing to write down, if you're looking at this to start, we're going to say, when we add a positive, we go to the right. When we add a negative, we go to the left. That's the thing to remember. Okay, guys, that's it. So you can look at these. We're going to do these in class. We'll talk about a little bit more of this in class. Some of this is a little more than what we need. I don't want this video to go past 15 minutes, and we just hit the 15-minute mark. Okay. Again, if your after parent teacher conference saw a lot of parents that talked about you, how wonderful you were, I agreed with them. And then what we need to know is that you're going to, these directions, you need to know that if you have a question on it, don't sit there and stew over it and over and over it. Come in and ask me questions. Just write it down here. I still don't understand this. Why do we do this? And you come in with that question, you ask that question, and we all get enlightened by your intelligence, because you're an intelligent being that doesn't quite yet understand what we're doing, and you deserve to understand. And I am willing and wanting to help you understand. So come in with a question. Okay. See you later. Have a good day.